All right, as we are just a couple weeks away from the start of NFL training camp, the news around the league has sort of slowed down to a complete stop, except for one name in particular always popping up, and that would be 49ers wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk. Now, Aiyuk is looking for a long-term contract extension with the 49ers. He enters the final year of his rookie deal. He wants to get paid like the big boys. Now, Aiyuk is a solid wide receiver. I think he's good. I think he gets a little bit lost sometimes in this 49ers offense. Had the best season of his career. He had over 1,300 yards. He's averaging just under 1,000 yards per season so far in his 4 years played, has 25 touchdowns, so a solid all-around player on the defending NFC champs. Now, as you've seen wide receivers so far this offseason set the example, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, keeping their head down, just on the grind, saying the contract is going to get itself worked out. It'll get done. Aiyuk has gone with the old school, different approach that we've become used to with wide receivers. Aiyuk is making a big stink about this entire negotiating process. He doesn't think the Niners are close to the number where he wants to get paid. He wants to get paid in an elite tier wide receiver where he's just kind of a good tier wide receiver. Now, that could be with you don't make any money as a rookie. He was the 25th overall pick in 2020. He's set to make over $14 million this year, which will put him 13th on cap hits as far as wide receivers are concerned. So he's making a good chunk of change here. If you look at what his estimated value should be, he should be around that $23 to $26 million per range, which is a really good number for a guy who I don't think is quite a number one wide receiver. I think he's kind of like a 1B wide receiver. You can put him up there with a top tier other guy, or you could put him up there with 2 1Bs and he's really good. I just don't think he kind of has that ability to be like a true number one like we see with our top dogs. But Aiyuk is gone on this flirting campaign all offseason with the Washington Commanders of all teams. Now, the Commanders just drafted quarterback Jaden Daniels from LSU, but before he was at LSU, he was at Arizona State, where he was college teammates with Brandon Aiyuk. That also goes to show you how old Jaden Daniels is, since he was college teammates with Brandon Aiyuk, who's been in the NFL for 4 seasons. It's kind of funny how that works. But Aiyuk has been very vocal, hanging out with Jaden Daniels, posting pictures about this, and then he gets back in the headlines again after it was reported that contract talks fell off between him and the Niners this past week. He's watching Commanders OTA film and posting that to his social medias. Now, I hate guys who act like a head ass. This is a head ass move. This is what we are used to seeing from wide receivers. I hate this from players in general, but in particular wide receivers. This is what they used to be known for. Complete divas, toxic in the work environment. I'm surprised. I don't even know, has he deleted the Niners off his all his social medias? It's such a childish and bullshit ass move. You're gonna get paid, my guy, but you are nowhere near the levels of eliteness that we've seen from top wide receivers. And like I said, look at Justin Jefferson, look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. Head down, didn't talk about it, didn't cause a fuss. The deals got done and they got paid handsomely more than what they are worth, or maybe, perfectly what they're worth. But they got handsomely rewarded. Jefferson with the highest non-quarterback contract in NFL history, and Amon-Ra was the highest paid wide receiver for a minute there, but that's kind of just how contracts work. And even CeeDee Lamb is doing a relatively good job. There's a little bit more noise out of his camp with that contract extension. But CeeDee Lamb, of all people, who led the league last year as a wide receiver, he's entering the final year of his deal with the team option. And you don't hear anything out of CD. You really don't. There's some rumblings, but not like Aiyuk. Aiyuk is acting like a guy that is a number one elite tier wide receiver, but he's not. He's just kind of mid, man. He's good to average. Like I said, it just disgusts me when players act like this. You're going to get paid, dude. Quit acting like a bitch. Jesus. For the love of God, just put your head down, go to work. You're on the 49ers. You're the defending NFC champions. Someone's going to pay you money. The Niners are paying you over $14 million. They picked up your 5th-year option. There's money that has to be spread out. You have guys like Christian McCaffrey. You got Nick Bosa on defense. Kittle's getting paid. Debo's getting paid. There's just so much money going around, man. You got to sometimes take a pay cut. But if you're not about that, play out your contract. Go somewhere else next season as a top free agent. Now, the Niners could franchise tag him, but it would be pretty expensive and stupid to do that if you're not going to give him that long-term deal with that. So go do that. T. Higgins has voiced some displeasures also. He's playing under the tag. He's going to be a free agent next season. He's also going to get paid. But no, I need to flirt with another team in conference. It's going to look bad. I'm sure somebody's going to get hit with a tampering charge here or there because the NFL is usually pretty stiff with this type of stuff. I mean, he's not even a free agent. Like I said, he's under contract with the 49ers still. So this makes absolutely no sense. Feels like this cannot be legal whatsoever. So somebody's going to get hit with something, but it's just such a childish move for Brandon Aiyuk. But the question is, if I'm John Lynch, I'm shipping his ass out of town. I'm not keeping this nonsense in my locker room. What can you get from him from the Commanders? Now, if I'm the Commanders, I'm going to be, buying low. The Niners want him out. I think they would want him out. Buy low on him, see if you can get a good advantage. Easiest pick would be like give him a first-round pick, but I don't think Brandon Aiyuk's worth a first-round pick. So things get a little bit more complicated. The 49ers are going to have to add a wide receiver, in particularly a good wide receiver. You have rookie Ricky Pearsall there as your number 3, possibly number 4. Who knows? I don't think he's ready to step up as a number 2. And then you got Debo, who's entering his final few years on his contract. He's probably going to be a cap casualty this offseason. So the Niners could be in really bad shape at the wide receiver position. I would love to get a guy like Terry McLaurin. I know Washington's not going to give him up. There's some potential 3-team trades we could look at, like a team like Denver. You send some picks to Denver and maybe, some bummy wide receiver. I don't know. Denver's not going to be good whatsoever. You get back like Cortland Sutton and then Aiyuk goes to Washington. You kind of work out a 3-team trade there. Maybe you send Dotson from Washington to Denver. Aiyuk goes to Washington and then they get Cortland Sutton in San Francisco because I think Cortland Sutton on this team, I still think he has a ton of upside value. He was awesome last year with inconsistent quarterback play. He catches everything. I think this would be an awesome ad for a 49ers team who are obviously in an absolute win now mode. Let's get this Lombardi trophy finally, because the Piper is going to be getting paid. But it's just kind of a ridiculous story that we always kind of have to keep talking about it. Somebody's always got to be this guy when it comes to contracts. Hilarious. It's a wide receiver that's kind of a mid-tier to good wide receiver. Nothing special, nothing spectacular. Maybe take a note out of JJ and Amon-Ra's and maybe CeeDee Lamb's book and just go to work, kick ass on the field, and you'll get rewarded handsomely. But hey, some guys are going to be like this, and that's Brandon Aiyuk apparently. I wouldn't want no part of this guy on my football team. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Would you trade for Aiyuk if you're Washington? Do you have to ship him out if you're San Francisco now because it's gotten so toxic? Let me know what you guys think. If you haven't already, drop a quick like on this video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We got new sports content every single day. If you want to support the channel more, sign up for a channel membership. You get all sorts of cool perks. Help support me directly. Allows me to keep making this great content for you guys every single day. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you all tomorrow.